Okay, 2024 AMC 8, question 7. A 3 by 7 rectangle is covered without overlap by 3 shapes of tiles, 2 by 2, 1 by 4, and 1 by 1, as shown below. And the question is asking you, what is the minimum number of 1 by 1 tiles used? So you want to use as much as possible the 2 by 2 and 1 by 4 tiles. This sort of question where you have different shapes and you're trying to make up some shape, I call them Lego question, because it seems to be like you have 3 types of Lego pieces and you're trying to put together a puzzle, and you want to figure out how do I use the bigger pieces as much as possible, because of course you can use 21 1 by 1 tiles to make up this shape. To solve this Lego type of questions, I generally go through a 2-step method. The first step is exploration. So for this 3 by 7 shape, which has 21 points or 21 squares you need to cover, let's play to see how we can get it. So one way to fill in this shape, which is a 3 by 7 shape. So let me have this shape ready. Okay, 3 by 7. So one way to do it is I can put a 2 by 2 here, and I can put a 2 by 2 next to it, another 2 by 2, and then you will realize there's no more 2 by 2 you can use. So you can start to put a 1 by 4 here. And now there's nothing else you can use, but we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares that's not covered yet. And you can only use a 1 by 1 tiles. So for this case, you need to use 5 1 by 1 tiles. And you can try to see if there's another way to do it. For example, we shouldn't start from using the squares that early. Maybe you can try to use the 1 by 4. So put a 1 by 4 in the top. You can put another 1 by 4 in the middle. You can put a 1 by 4 in the bottom. And then you need to use a square because 1 by 4 cannot be used anymore. And again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares left that you need to use 1 by 1 tiles to cover. So by trying this, you'll be like, okay, looks like 5 is probably the answer, but I'm not sure. Are we sure we cannot do any better? That's where you want to find some pattern. This is a little vague. I get it, right? Like, what is the pattern here? This is also why Lego questions are super interesting, because we don't know until we work on the question. So pattern here means now you want to dive deeper into the numbers to see if there's anything you notice to be special. Like some number happen to be the same, or some number happen to have the same factor, or anything like that. Now let's look at our tiles. We have a 2 by 2 and 1 by 4. Anything interesting about 2 by 2 tile and 1 by 4 tile? Some of you may notice that 2 times 2 is 4. So this tile covers 4 squares. And 1 by 4 is the same. It also covers 4 squares. So that means what? That means if you use 2 by 2 and 1 by 4, you can only cover 4 times something squares. And I don't care how you put them. You can put them in any way you want. But in the end, you either cover 4 squares, or you cover 8 squares, or 12, or 16, or 20. Now look back to our question. We need to cover a 3 by 7 shape, which means we have 21 squares to cover. Without using our 1 by 1 tile, you can only cover 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 squares, which means the number of 1 by 1 tiles you need to use can only be 1 or 5, because 2, 3, 4 wouldn't work. For example, if you take 2, then you need to cover 19 remaining squares. But the only number of squares you can cover using the 2 by 2 or 1 by 4 is going to be 4 times something, and 19 is not a 4 times something. So now you know 2, 3, 4 are not possible. And you can try a little bit longer to confirm, yes, there's literally no way I can only use one by 1 tile. Then you can see the answer is going to be 5. So that's generally how we handle Lego questions. Remember, start from exploration to get a sense on how this looks. And then go ahead to find some pattern. And the pattern is here for you to be more confident or 100% confident on your answer. Thank you.